ramen gyro. You got clueless goobers who don't even know the guilty verdict. This is a massive disaster caused by skipping the shoe stage. Shuhari, today I'm gonna give a harsh reality check to these tryhards who completely misunderstand. Bottom line is, I'm looking at all these try-hard noobs in various scenes lately, and it honestly makes me shiver. Talking about my own style when they don't even know the forms? Like, bro, go back and restart from the shoe in Shuhari. Today, I'm gonna give a harsh reality check to these tryhards who completely misunderstand Shuhari. Before you degenerates complain and ask for it too long, didn't read, I'll give you the layout for today in 3 parts. Chapter 1. The theory that all recent try-hard noobs are delusional. Chapter 2. The miserable fate of those who misunderstand Shuhari. Chapter 3. Mastering the form is the only speedrun strat. And Chapter 4 is when we wrap this up and get the hell out. We're going in this order, so leave your feelings at the door and listen. Let's start with Chapter 1. Where we on our way and out as a dumb by raid. The theory that all recent try-hard noobs are delusional. You see, when I look at the comment sections on social media and video sites, it's an absolute hellscape. You lads have seen it, right? Some guy just starts something new and immediately goes, I want to establish my own style, or following the manual is a waste of time, spouting absolute nonsense. Whoa, hold up. Have you ever even followed a manual correctly once in your life? Like, Nani? What? Who do you think you are? That so-called originality of yours is just an excuse for not knowing the basics. You see him at work too, right? A newbie 1 month into the job saying, I think your manual is outdated. I can do it way more efficiently. And then they fuck up repeatedly, making everyone else clean up their mess. An absolute nightmare. Laughing my ass off. Well, it ain't actually funny though. How many of other people's resources are you draining with your efficiency? Put yourself in the shoes of the senior staff watching this. You'd be like, oh, rip. Big oof moment right there. They really fucked up. Same thing in the illustration community. They can't even draw basic human anatomy, but insist this is just my deformed art style. No, bro, that ain't a deformed style, that's just a fractured bone. If you want to draw like Picasso, you gotta be able to draw realistic portraits perfectly first. What's up with those noodle joints? It gives me anxiety. To break it down so even you brain-dead degenerates can understand. It's like a guy who can barely hold chopsticks suddenly saying, it's the era of creative cuisine now. And serving you some grotesque-looking dinner. Absolute clown behavior. I ain't eating that shit. I'd flip the table instantly. Their basic skills are absolute trash, and they're just covering it up by claiming it's their style. The correlation is strong as hell. If we compare it to baseball, it's like a guy who can't even throw a proper game of catch right at his partner's chest, saying, I'm gonna use the tornado delivery because it rotates my shoulder better. That's a problem way before you even worry about a ball. Go completely copy the basic form you've seen more times than your own parents' faces, then come back. You can't just skip straight to the advanced stuff. Even us net dwellers lurked and read the room before posting it first, right? Normies bringing in their own weird rules right off the bat are not welcome. They'd get rashued to hell and safely pronounced dead. So before you talk about your own style, you gotta trace the form flawlessly first. Fun fact. I digress, let's get back on track. Next up is Chapter 2. We're talking about the miserable fate of those who get Shuhari wrong. You lads have probably heard of Shuhari at least once, right? It's a concept about traditional arts and learning theory by Sin, no Rikyu, and Zima. Completely mastering your master's teachings and traditional forms. That's Shu. Then, applying and tweaking it is Ha. Finally, transcending the form to reach your own unique state is Rai. 3 elements. Basically, it means this. True creative innovation only comes out after you've completely internalized solid basic knowledge and skill. The mechanic is simple. But these modern goobers try to skip Shu and jump straight to Rai. They say following the form is inefficient and boring, and they want to do their own thing ASAP, always looking for a shortcut. What a joke. That shortcut you took is exactly why your current reality is so pathetic. Let's dig into why Sen no Rikyu and Zemi said such strict things. They weren't just trying to bully noobs. The predecessors we call geniuses spent their whole lives repeating successes and failures to distill the most efficient, most beautiful form. That's what a form is. So tracing the form means you get to use the cheat codes left by your predecessors. Clueless normies who don't know this will just get exploited. You have cheat codes, so why the hell are you trying to fight the final boss at level 1 with a cypress stick? Are you brain dead? That's just a self-imposed challenge run for no reason. Look, breaking the form is a privilege reserved for absolute units who have the form ingrained in their body. If you ain't got a form to begin with, you ain't breaking the form, you're just formless. A defective product. You're destined for a half-assed, washed-up future, no matter what you do. It might go against your intuition, but that's reality. Put your hand on your chest and ask yourself which stage of Shuhari you're at right now. I bet you lads dabbled in a bunch of shit your own way. Half-assed all of it, quit, and now you're listening to this in bed fiddling with your phones, right? Laughing my ass off, he's seething. Wipe your tears, bro. I get the urge to get bored, basic practice, and want to deviate. I really do. I was like that too, right? But only by sucking it up and drilling the basics without skipping them. Can you avoid losing sight of the essence when your skills finally break through? Stop chasing after just the convenient parts. Numbers don't lie, but liars use numbers. Same thing. You were just using the phrase being myself as a smokescreen to run away from hard work. Alright, moving on to chapter 3. Mastering the form is the only speedrun strat. Here's the important part. This will be on the test. Being yourself or your individuality ain't something you aim for on purpose. It's the parts that inevitably spill over when you try your damnedest to perfectly copy the basics and master the form. The quirks you just can't hide. That is true being yourself and true originality. Get it? Being yourself is just a bonus feature that naturally attaches itself after you've flawlessly copied the basics. Anyone yapping about their own style first is just lazy, simply running away from effort. Let's dig deeper. Think about our beloved Ramen Jiro. You got clueless goobers who don't even know the Jiro call. But they hear everyone else saying mashi mashi, so they think they can handle it too. They order Zen mashi mashi, take one look at the mountain of veggies, and go yikes! Then they can't finish it. Leave leftovers and catch a guilty verdict. This is a massive disaster caused by skipping the Shu stage. Shut up and eat a regular small ramen first. Use that to physically understand the shop's flavor, the noodle portion, the thickness of the pork, and the heaviness of the fat. That's Shu. Perfectly calibrating your stomach capacity with the shop's baseline. Then, once you've gone multiple times and gotten used to it, you adjust. Maybe today, I'll go less veggies, Karama, and make the flavor stronger. That's, finally busting out your own flawless, custom call perfectly tuned to your physical condition and the weather that day. That's right. Damn, that's deep. With this, you lads are now fully fledged, absolute unit Jirorians. Same goes for pro baseball. Even Ichiro didn't start off with that pendulum swing. He did practice swings until he practically died, completely burned the basic batting form into his body. And that swing just happened to be the form that fit him best. I ain't trying to be an edgelord against sabermetrics, but in the end, I think it comes down to the sheer guts of how grimy you got with the basics. There are exceptions, but look at the big picture here. Don't just look at the Rai phase of a genius like Ichiro and delude yourself thinking, I can do that too. Humans only see what they want to see, so you're just cherry-picking the convenient parts and using it as an excuse to run away from basic drills. That's just your headcanon, isn't it? So mastering the form is the only speedrun strat to true freedom. You can't even argue with that, can you? The more this hurts to hear, the more you need to face reality. Any of you got a problem with that? Oh, you've totally failed doing things your own way too, haven't you? What the fuck? Why? I'm always perfect. Nice reverse take bait. Well, whatever. If what I'm saying pisses you off, go grind the shoe practice starting today and prove me wrong. And if any of you haven't subscribed yet, face this reality and hit subscribe right now. Without someone toxic like me spitting facts, you degenerates will just revert back to your flowery delusional thinking. Use this channel as your time-killing surveillance zone. I bet you lads are just gonna escape reality at work or school tomorrow, locked in a toilet stall listening to this. Before you search for your own way of living on a toilet seat, go review the basic form of how to flush it. Just kidding. It's fine. That's just the kind of relationship we have. No matter how much of a bottom feeder you are, if you can listen to my rant, laugh your ass off, and think, damn, there are brain-dead idiots out there who can't even read a manual. I'm doing all right. Then that's good enough. That kind of paradoxical self-validation is the ultimate bottom feeder life hack to survive this garbage life. All right, dismissed. Chapter 4's Dismissal Declaration. Now I'm starving, so I'm gonna prep some gyro as part of my binge eating and passing out club activities. Man, I talk too much. Before you degenerates spout nonsense about breaking the mold in your sleep, just eat some grub and go to bed. Night chads. Practice your forms in your dreams. All right, one last announcement. Next time I'll explain moonshot thinking. All right, good work. And very safely pronounced dead.